I am Tisha Powell, and we are going to talk real estate for the next 12 minutes. And what makes me a real estate expert, you might be saying? Well, I was born to a family that was in real estate. My father, Mr. Powell, was a real estate developer. And by the time I was 5 years old, my parents had probably about 10, 15 properties renting out. My mom, eventually resigned her job and became a property manager. So I was very fortunate to be walking on real estate construction sites from a very little girl. And 46, and I have been selling real estate since I was 19. So that is probably 26 years of experience. I bought my first home probably before I got to 21, 22. And by the time I was 24, I had a real estate portfolio. So I've bought and flipped properties, and I was very fortunate to have one of those $100 million listings by the time I was 27 years old. So I was marketing real estate all over the country and the world for my clients who were building this incredibly enormous $100 million projects 20 years ago, before it was even, popular to do so. 1.6 million people saw my views on Twitter. I'm an author of 2 books, one of which is real estate. I'm authoring a 3rd book this year. You've got to get this one. And it'll be available probably by the end of this year on Amazon.com, or I'll probably just make it for sale on the internet. But you've got to get this real estate book that I'm in the process of writing. I have never poured out so much of my knowledge on paper before, but this is the one that you want to get. I've been on Fox, I've been on Newsmax, Twitter, social media, you name it. So we're going to first speak about how to buy real estate. Your first home, your second home, and then your third home. Do you know most people only own one home? If it's such a good deal, why don't you own more than one? But that's the thing. No one has showed you how to buy more than one homes. So for you people who are doing first-time home buyers, this is what you need to know. First thing you need is credit. Credit is probably queen. Cash is king. Credit is probably queen in the United States. So you want to work on your credit. You want to make sure your credit is over 680 this moment in time. It's going to go higher. So you want to work on, your credit. You want a job. You've got to have a job. You've got to show the lenders that you have a job. A job is very important. The lenders love to see 2 years of tax return. So if they want to see 2 years of tax return, you got to be working for at least 2 years before you purchase real estate. Of course, you don't have to have the same line of work, but if you did change within the first 2 years, you can explain to the lender why the line of work is different. But consistency is the key. 2 years of tax return, credit score, and a job. And what if you don't have the down payment? How will that work? Well, because you're a first-time home buyer, you get a loan called FHA. Write that down, FHA. It's as little as 2 to 3% down. So if the house is $400,000, you can come up with as little as $12,000 to buy your first home. Now, of course, there'll be a mortgage insurance, but eventually, if you stick with this program and you stick to these seminars, I'll teach you how to get out of your mortgage insurance. Right now, I'm just trying to get you into a home, into your first home. So you want to do it FHA. For those of you in California and Florida and big states, they have programs for first-time home buyers. So check with your county to see if they have a program. I know in Palm Beach, they have a program up to $20,000 or even more for first-time home buyers. You have to do a seminar and then you're in the program. So you may want to do that. Another way to get money in order to get your first home is probably asking a relative, can I borrow some money? Some of these lenders will allow you to get money for a down payment from a relative. So if you're close to your mom, your dad, or someone who has $10,000 or $12,000 and they can lend that or gift that to you, then go ahead and have that if you can get the FHA loan. So that is it for first-time home buyers. I'll be back to talk more about second and third home. I'm Tisha Powell. We'll be back. Hi, it's Tisha Powell, and welcome back to my real estate show. So If you like seminars like this, go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you're telling me that these videos I make, that these are videos that you want. You know, like I used to do political videos, then I did, you know, videos, Christian videos, because everybody knows I'm a Christian. And then third, now I'm doing real estate videos. So those are the only experts I have. I'm just a writer and I just love writing shows, and real estate is one of the shows that I like writing on. So we have 9 minutes to go, and we talked about first homes. Now let's talk about second and third home. But before that, you need 4 experts along the way with you in real estate. If you decide you're going to be a real estate investor where you're going to own all these properties, you know, you want to own 1 or 2 homes, then you're going to need a team, a real estate team. And the good part about real estate team, it's not expensive unless you need them, you know? So you're going to need a real estate attorney, and you're going to need a realtor, real estate agent, and you're going to need an accountant. So once you buy 1 or 2 homes, you need an accountant. Oh, but you could do your own taxes? Good for you, except you need to keep up with the tax law now that you own real estate, because you can get wiped out really quick in real estate from 2 things, the bank and the government. So you want to know the tax law so that you're in guidelines with the tax. And why should you learn it if you can get an accountant to do it for you? So get a good accountant that handles real estate. You also want an attorney. And you don't need an attorney to kind of read over the contract. That's not what you need an attorney for. You need an attorney to help you structure the deal. So you need a real estate attorney when you're on to your second or third home to help you structure the deal. I mean, there's just no other way for you to figure out how to get a second and third home unless there's a real estate attorney helping you. I mean, you could learn from these seminars. I'm a real estate attorney myself, but you will need a real estate attorney to help structure the deal, or a real estate investor or guru. You know, there's all these financial guys, but you're just the investor. So you want to grow your portfolio. You want to bring along with you the experts, because the experts are what make a team. And none of these people get paid. They're all independent contractors. They get paid when you get a deal. You want a realtor or real estate agent. Let me explain why. The real estate agent will bring you the deal. You know, you could search Zillow all day, but most of us have a job to do in the days. So why not have a realtor who handles real estate search the deal for you? Therefore, they're sending you. So you want a network, okay? What if you're an introvert? It doesn't matter. You want to go some couple places to meet like a real estate agent, a real estate attorney, and a real estate accountant, because you're off to your second home now. Speak of which, you can keep your first home and you can get a second home. Yep, that's correct. A lender will give you money for a second home. Oh, you don't have to sell the home. You can keep 2 homes. But there is a caveat to each of this. To keep a second home, you have to meet the lender's guideline. What most lenders want, it has to be certain area. So let's say I live in Florida, I live on the West Coast, maybe Boca Raton. I can buy a second home East Fort Lauderdale because that brings a different lifestyle, even though it's in the same state. So you can have a second home in the same state, but it has to make sense to the lender. So it has to be, you know how it is, like if you live in New York, like if you live in Manhattan, people buy a second home in you know, on Long Island, in the Hamptons, because it brings a different lifestyle and it's probably well over 30-mile existence. So yes, you can get a second home, and most lenders require 10% of the purchase price. So if your second home is $400,000, you're going to need $40,000. But that's the trick. Your first home, if it was 400, you needed 12. The second home, you need 40. Don't you see how leverage works for you? With as little as 12,000, you're in your first home. With as little as 40,000, you're in your second home. Remember, real estate is an asset, people. You want to acquire asset, and you want to be able to leverage your way into acquiring asset with good leverage, not bad leverage. I call bad leverage credit cards, student loans. That was my cat, by the way. And car payments. Those are not good debt. You want to just have real estate debt. But location is important in real estate, and so is timing. I can't emphasize how important timing is in real estate. Real estate goes up, real estate goes down, and real estate goes sideways. So you want to be able to time the market to get in. And how do you time the market? You follow real estate gurus, you learn from the best, you see what people are saying. Is there a housing crash coming up? I don't think there's a housing crash coming up. I think there's a housing correction, but not a housing crash. I, thank God, lived through the worst housing crash in the United States, 2007, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, when the market crashed. I was a real estate investor, I was an attorney, and as a realtor. And I was able to work through a lot of these deals with real estate. And it took a while, but we were able to convince lenders how to short sale. We're able to write letters for our clients, getting them short sales or modifications. It was a crazy time for us, but you know what? We made it through. And I just want you to know that time in real estate is the key, especially if you're going in with 10% down. Now, if you're going in with 20% down, timing is not so a concern for you. You can stomach probably every crash or every correction. But if you are just doing a 90% loan to value, meaning that you're putting only 10% of the purchase price, let's say, because I'm just going with Florida, a lot of the homes in Florida are going for $400,000 now. That's standard in Florida. So that's the purchase price I'm going to be using and a lot of examples of. $400,000 loan to value would be you put 10% down, which is 40, and then the lender, your bank, will lend you 360 over 30-year amortization. Okay? And for you guys who's saying, how do you know that big word amortization? I was a security and tax attorney along with a real estate attorney. And so these words are very standard for me, and I would like to just bring it down to standard talking. But amortization of a 30-year mortgage. And we'll talk about how paying off your mortgage. We'll talk about that more in my seminars. I'll teach you tricks and trades on how to pay off your mortgage. Take out a 30-year mortgage, pay one extra payment. Take out a 30-year mortgage, pay one extra payment. One extra payment, bring the mortgage from 30 to 22 years. So if you keep doing one extra payment, you won't have the full 30-year mortgage to go. So don't be afraid of taking a 30 or 40-year mortgage out. It's just numbers. You can reduce it by paying down the principal, okay? The lenders aren't telling you that, but you're capable of sending a check once a year to pay down the principal. Maybe a bonus, maybe renting out a room, maybe working a second job, maybe Christmas gifts, whatever it is, you can afford to send one payment in per year. That will bring you down. I know you're young, you're in your 20s and 30s, but I'm telling you, you could cut the mortgage down, you could retire early and spend more time with friends and family. That's what it's about. It's about creating wealth so that you can free your time up to talk with your friends and family. And I'm hoping that I'm adding value to your life by teaching you some of the real estate trick and trades. So like I said earlier, there are 4 experts you're going to need in real estate. One is a real estate attorney. And the real estate attorney is not to really look over the contract, because contracts are basic, well, especially if you're in Florida. But you want the real estate attorney to kind of show you the pros and cons of your investment, because you're not seeing it. You're probably emotionally tied to it. I know in New York, you need a real estate attorney just to buy real estate. But I know in Utah, you don't, and Florida, you don't. But you should get a real estate attorney to get their expert opinion on your finances and structuring the deal. So I would say that a real estate attorney is a good investment for you to make. You also want an accountant, and make sure that accountants have handled real estate in the past. And up to date with the real estate code, the real estate tax law. It's very important that you know the tax law, because that can make you and that can break you. You know, taxes can make you and break you. So you want to be able to be up to date with the tax law. And then you want a realtor, and get a realtor that knows the area that you're trying to buy in. You know, I know some of you want to use your friends and your family, But local realtors, like I'm in real estate in Florida, I know that market very well. I'm also in real estate in Utah, Park City. I know that market very well. You want to be with a realtor that knows the market because that local knowledge is power. That realtor knows what's for sale, what's not for sale, what cap rate is, what not cap rate, and it's free. The realtor gets paid when you find a property, when you sell the property. So you want to use realtors to keep with the experts going. And then you want a banker. I mean, go to Chase, go to Bank of America, go to Wells Fargo, go to your local bank. You need to be able to get a pre-approval before you buy your second home, because you and I can have wonderful ideas. If the lender is not on board, then we have nothing. And don't be afraid of getting your first denial letter. Go again to another lender. If it's your credit, work on that. If it's your 2 years of tax return, work on it. But you are going to need a down payment for your second home. In certain situations, you can get probably 5% or 100%. But this is not for this show now. These are for people who are in my seminar who are paying. I'll teach you different ways how you can get your second home with little or no money down. Right now, the standard thing is 90% loan to value, which is 10%. And I am also a real estate expert. So if you do need to be part of my seminar, just email or text me or Instagram, DM me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll reach out to you and I'll let you know what the seminar costs for one-on-one mentor and one-on-one coaching. I love to help people with real estate, and I'm here to help you. I'm Tisha Powell. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back soon with more real estate. Subscribe to us now on YouTube so that we can make more videos for you. I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching. I'm your real estate guru.